YouTube, how you doing? I recently got an SSHD, which I've been still testing at the moment. So far, I'm pretty happy with the performance. It's a lot faster than what I was originally using, and I was using a mechanical drive initially, and I was finding that just certain things I do, certain things would lag pretty badly. So not too bad in the sense of like response times, they're not too bad. The response times are pretty good, the install times are pretty good, the download times are pretty even with most of the stuff that I've got on my system. So my work laptop is actually working a lot more efficiently. So I mean at this point in time, it's pretty much at this point in time it's just stuck in sort of, not stuck, it's just sort of, initially I was using the mechanical drive and I was finding lag issues like when I was doing particular things or particular types of stuff that I wanted to do specifically, so you know it was sort of down to that in most cases. So most of this stuff seems to be working pretty well. From computer repair networking, from gaming 949 Daniel Woman, yada yada yada. So that's all seems to be functional, which is great. Now aside from that, what else is there? I've mucked around with a few things. I'm also making a few changes in my life as well to sort of, you know, get my negativity away and, you know, just feel better about myself and stuff like that, because I have been not feeling depressed. I think it's just maybe perhaps I've been negatively reflecting on things, and to be honest, I think it's just been the people I've been around, and I guess, you know, just the interactions I've had in certain circumstances. So, you know, unfortunately I can't do much about it, so it's just going to happen, you know. So I mean, fuck, you know, I don't need negativity in my life, I don't need negative point of view, so fuck it, you know, I'm just going to walk away from it. Simple as that. It's easier for me to walk away from it, to be honest, because I just don't need negative behaviour anymore, or negative feelings towards a given situation, or, you know, certain circumstances in life anyway. That's aside from the point. I've installed some new software, so I installed a bunch of new software and everything else. Also got a new software here. So still got that old. Anyway, I got an update utility on here, and I downloaded an update utility, which that's just basically for the chipset for the system. So no, things are running pretty well. I haven't had any major issues with the system since I put this new drive in. I did clone it across, or I cloned the drive across, which probably took a few hours, but initially everything was pretty good with it, and it worked pretty well, so I was pretty happy. This is just my work drive, so let's see. Anyway, some of the stuff anyway. Okay. Negative reflection. As I said, I've figured out a lot of different things. I'm feeling. I'm trying not to convey negative energy if I can help it. I'm trying to convey positive energy about things and about myself. And to be honest, I want to be around people who do that for me. And I'm finding a few people now that I've found a few people in my life just aren't reflecting the same energy back at me. So to be honest, I just don't need them in my life if they're going to be negative towards me, or, you know, constantly want to be negative. As I said, I don't need the negative energy anymore. It's not something I need, it's not something I want, and it's just better to have a better vibe about things. So really, let's see. Okay, close that. Bench. Sorry, I'm just having a look at some of the stuff I've actually got on this repair bench. So the last thing that I'm waiting on, which is an SSD, this is an SSHD, which so far I'm not really having a lot of negative situations with. It seems to be working pretty well. So at the end of it, I'm not doing too bad. It's just all drivers, I need those anyway. Get rid of those. Close that as well. And close that as well. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. So, as I said, I'm trying to cleanse negativity from my life, and I'm trying to be less negative about things. I'm also trying to be less, less negativity, feeling less negative about things in my life. And I think that's what I'm primarily trying to focus on, if I can help it. Now, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I'm probably going to have my ups and downs, of course, like anybody else. But I think in the long run, if I cleanse myself of negative energy, it's just going to help me in the long run as a better person. You know what I mean? It's going to help me be a better person in general. So, yeah. Close that. So let's virus. Other ones anyway. So pretty much all this stuff, it's working pretty well. So. Most of this stuff seems to be working pretty well, so yeah, the drive's not too bad. It seems to be functioning pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with how that's working. I'm probably going to end up working on this kitchen computer at some point, but I need to clone the old drive over once I get the new drive, obviously. But at this point, it's just sort of an issue of me cloning the old drive over, pretty much. Some other stuff anyway, these are just some of the files anyway. I'm just checking to make sure everything's working. So this is all working from what I can tell, which is great. I've got a backup of everything else, so I've got a backup of all the drive stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone that drive, that laptop drive that I've got in here, over to a SSD when I get the SSD, obviously. Now, it probably won't be now, as I said, I'm still waiting on to get the SSD, so it's probably going to be a couple more days before I actually get the SSD. It's a 120 gigs, so it's about the same. The one I put in there was an 80 gig, I think. The drive that I had in there originally, or the drive that I've got in there at the moment is an 80 gig. As you can see, that computer's turned off. I'm trying to, I think my dad's is running reasonably okay, but I might boot it up later on and just make sure everything's working on it. But aside from that, my new SSHD is doing pretty well, so yeah. Alright, catch ya. Stay tuned, YouTube, as per usual. I've got more videos coming up, so yeah, totally. Alright, catch ya. Bye. Well, hello YouTube. I've been mucking around a little bit more with my SSD to actually show you what the model number is for it. Interesting. So it's my internet. That's actually the problem. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, I've been mucking around with this a little more, and what I might do is reboot my router. So yeah, I've been mucking around with this a little bit more, and it's not a little bit. It's not a bad little SSD. It's the actual model number for it here is listed, but as you can see, I don't really actually see the icon or not, but you can see that it's an SSHD, which actually says clearly by the icon. Runs you a few system tests and stuff like that and things of that nature, so not too bad. I'm pretty happy so far with it. Performing pretty well. Boot times, I mean, considering it's an SSHD, it's still got a mechanical part of it. It still runs pretty reasonable. I was having a lot of lag issues before when I was trying to do anything generally in Windows with my last hard drive, which my last hard drive was a Hitachi 750 gigabyte. So this is a step up from that. It's not perfect, but you know, it's pretty much a step up from what I had. So that's cool. We'll see how we go. So far, so good. Taking a little while to restart, but it's because of. Is the system overheating? No, not that I can tell. It's pretty cool actually. So no, boot times aren't too bad. Load times on there and everything else. It was acting very sluggish. So I thought, to be honest, it was worth the upgrade. On top of that, it's a 1 terabyte hard drive, so it is larger. It is technically, it's an upgrade in size as well. So I was quite happy to get it. So that's loaded. I'll just put my password in. So yeah. I was rebooting my router just then, just to make sure everything was working on the network, because my network was being a bit funny. So yeah, boot times aren't too bad. Things load up pretty fast. It's not too bad offhand. I mean, it's not going to be exactly the same as an SSD. It's more for caching files and stuff like that. But it still runs reasonably fast, and it still loads pretty fast anyway. You can see our load times on things are a lot better than they were previously. Just being able to do certain things in Windows and certain things that I wanted to do. I mean, probably a fresh install could probably fix some of the little issues that I've got with the system, but I mean, aside from that, it all seems to be pretty good anyway. The original drive was portioned into 2 different portions, which is exactly what I did with this drive. I portioned it into a separate drive with all my stuff on it, and obviously a drive with the Windows portion on it. Now, I mean, it may have copied some of the errors too, which is a good and a bad thing, really. Sort of, it's probably a bad thing that it might have copied some of the errors as well, but you know, it's not running too bad. Facebook, whoa, that's nice. Okay then. Asian delights are forever. Very nice. Okay then. So yeah, aside from that, that's pretty good though. Aside from that, I think everything seems to be working pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with what direction it's going in. It's working reasonably well so far. I've been able to do a lot of stuff, and my videos. I'll just load one of my random videos here.
Well, how you doing, YouTube? I'm not feeling particularly fresh. I've got a cold at the moment, so that's just making me feel like absolute shit. To be honest, I'm sure.
Alright, so that's done. So yeah, that's not too bad. That's loading pretty fast and pretty reasonable. Well, it's also loading pretty fast, so that's actually pretty good. So not too bad so far. I'm pretty impressed with how it's working. Let's just test a couple other things. I just want to test the speed. I'm just generally testing the speed of things. I might log into my Stan account and just test to see what streaming videos are like. I do have a Stan account. I got a little while back, so I'll probably end up keeping it. Alright, log in. Let me just load a video and see how well it works. Let's just rate some random movie. Let's see. I'll just load the dish. I won't even actually play it. I'll play it, but I'll play it for like a few seconds just to get to the beginning of the movie. Just a moment fetching your stream. Okay, so that actually is working pretty well. So, I mean, even my streaming video and stuff seems to be okay. I love that Asian Delights thing. That is really, wow, that's nice. I like that. Anyway, www.eBay. So I've loaded up eBay. I mean, pretty much everything I've been able to load and needs loading and stuff is loading pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with this stuff. At the moment, I'm waiting on an SSD for the. Well, I'm waiting on an SSD at the moment for the computer, the workbench computer, basically. Also got an extender cable. Because my new headset doesn't actually have a very long cable for the one that I've got plugged into my mic or my streaming mic. It just doesn't have a very long cable, so it gets a little frustrating in that sense. So there's a few parts I'm going to be picking up at some point: some hard drives, some motherboards, power supplies, or a power supply probably from my computer next. I'm considering this one. It's a 1500 watt. At this point, so that one's okay. Okay, that one's okay. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the way that's working, and so far so good. The only thing that was pissing me off was that Skype was being a pain in the ass, but I've rebooted my router just to make sure, because basically I could see the issue was cropping up on my router, that Skype would occasionally just drop and just totally fucking die in the ass. So, that's what we got. Oh, it was pretty good though. I think everything's working on this, so I mean, it seems. I've also tested the drive just to make sure it's all working properly and everything else. I might plug this drive in and maybe run some sector tests and stuff on it, maybe, or I'll probably do it out on the workbench computer more than anything else, and just make sure that the sectors are still going on. I think it was more just a case it was an older drive, and being an older drive, it had a couple of bad sectors or something like that, or slightly bad sectors on and off, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much, YouTube. Like, favorite, and subscribe as per usual. If you thumbs up if you love it, thumbs down if you don't, and sort of thing, and if you want to comment and stuff, that's all good. Okay, thank you very much, and stay tuned. I've got heaps more videos coming up. I just don't know when they're going to be. They'll probably be in the future anyway. Alright, catch you. Bye. Because I do have a couple of games on here. Not a whole heap of games, but I got like Singularity, which is a relatively 3D intensive game. I'm pretty well. I believe it is. I honestly think it is. It's old, but it's not that old. Let me just remove most of that anyway. So now I'll just go to that. So go down to settings. I just want to make sure I've got everything adjusted correctly on the video for this. Yeah, that all looks good. Alright. That's not too bad. Around my neck so I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. So yeah, I got to this point. Actually, I need to actually redo this part of the level, but it's not too bad. It works pretty well. Okay. Okay, so that's perfect. Alright, so that's actually pretty good. I only have one fucking bullet left, but only figures. Okay. Mind you, I am playing on a thing on a keyboard anyway. There we go. Nope. This actually doesn't run too bad. I mean, considering that I'm running this on pretty much an SSHD. Speeds aren't too bad, frame rate's not too bad. I mean, I'm... pretty smooth, to be honest. There we go. So yeah, that's not playing too bad. So that's pretty good. I mean, this laptop does get pretty hot. So probably better. I mean, this particular laptop does get pretty hot, especially when you're using the graphics processor. It's got a 2 gigabytes. What's it got? A 2 gigabytes. What do you call it? 2 gigabyte 610 or GT 610 in it. So I mean, that's not too bad considering. So exit and exit. Yes. So there we go. So yeah, there's a couple of different games I've tried on this anyway, but it's not too bad. Works pretty well. I mean, I don't really use this for gaming. I use my big gaming rig for things, but this is not too bad if I need to game in a pinch, basically. So let's see. Other ones anyway. So those are all good anyway. So I mean, it's not too bad in a pinch, in a situation where you might need to game, but don't have the full resources. The temperatures will be fairly high on this now because I've been playing a game. They always tend to go up when you play a game. So the actual specs of this machine, I mean, I don't think I've really ever sort of showed the specs off directly. That's going to be a pain in the ass and not load. It's because of the temperature? Could be. Hold on a second, let me just see. Oh, you son of a bitch, really? My fucking god. My mouse is lagging a bit because I'm not actually sitting on a mouse pad or anything like that, so. Oh, for fuck's sake. Seriously. Fucking retard. Come on, you. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, you're an asshole. Thank you. And it just crashed. Well, this is not a big issue anyway. Let's open that again. And it'll probably actually open properly this time. Hopefully it will. Yeah, it did, yay. Okay, so there it opened. So, what this actually has got in it is a, it's got the HD graphics from Intel, but if you actually go to Specky, here, so I like Specky, it's a good program. It's got Windows 10 Pro, as you all know. The CPU is a Sandy Bridge 32mm 250 GHz i5 processor. It's a 2450 mobile processor. I've got 8 gigabytes of RAM in total in there, and as it's an ASUS computer. It's got Intel graphics. It's got 2 gigabytes NVIDIA GeForce 610M. And of course the Seagate, which you can see is now at 41 degrees at the moment, which is 931 gigabytes, which is 1 terabyte pretty much. So that's the Seagate drive that I just put in. I haven't done any benchmarks. Well, I'm going to do some of the benchmarks on this, I guess, but is it the summary? That's the summary of everything. Disk drive, storage. So pretty much this is the storage drive, which here it is. Tells you pretty much straight away. It tells you the firmware version, tells the transfer speeds and such, smart attributes, Seagate drive, product ID and portion and everything else, things of that nature. Tell you the 2 different portions you've got on the drive. Then there's a portion 3, which is the system portion, obviously. Status 41 degrees C, which is, as I said, the status is good and everything else. So I mean, it's not a bad drive, and if you actually look that serial number up for the hard drive, that'll tell you exactly what it is. It's a Sandy Bridge, obviously, and it supports a lot of different things. Its boost clock, I believe, is like 3.0 gigahertz or something, to be honest. So not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. Stock bus, and then it says it gives you the different ratings for the cores and stuff, and tells you the core speed, which the core is actually running at 3 point something 0 gigahertz now. So that's not too bad. What else we got? RAM, which is what was it? I think it was like 1600 or something. It was like 1600 speed RAM, DDR3 anyway. So that's not too bad. I've got 8 gigabytes worth of RAM in there, which should keep me going for a while. Then I've got I think that's a Samsung or an LG. I think it's an LG DVD burner, pretty much. Now, the honest thing I haven't upgraded in this is like the sense of the network itself. I don't have any. I've got an Intel Centrino wireless N100 network interface. As I said, and it's okay, but it's not great either. It's for what's in here, and basically what is on the system. It's not too bad, but obviously I could have like a wireless ANC, which I've got a wireless ANC router, so. I'm obviously secured on that network at the back of the house, because most of the time this computer is connected to the back of the house, because it is a work computer, more than a personalized computer, really. What else? On my page there, but yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. I'm pretty happy with the end result of what it does so far. It's functioning the way I expect it to, and okay. For some reason that won't open. That's actually an intermittent problem. I think that actually might be Windows itself that is the issue there. There we go. So just check the updates. Just make sure there's updates on the system. As I said, maybe this could do with a reinstall, possibly, maybe. I'm not sure at this point. I'm not going to fathom it at this point. I'll probably do a reinstall later. I have done a reinstall on a couple of my other systems, but I've just sort of been dead set against it, to be honest, just because of some of the problems I've had in the past. So checking. So as I said, that's not too bad. So it runs games. It runs the games that I've got, which I've only got a few of them, pretty well, or reasonably well. All of my personal data and work data on here as well. I need to actually get some of my work data. Move some of my work data somewhere else, but. Let's see, work-related stuff. It's mostly just programs and stuff like that. I actually have to copy some stuff over and just make a backup copy of my work drive, sort of thing. Because this has got some of the files, but hasn't got all the files, and it's not too bad. I mean, it's a 1.5. No, it's a 1 terabyte, so I should be able to fit a bit more stuff on there anyway. So. See how we go. Alright. So I'm pretty happy with that. And at the moment, it's a step up from what I had originally. So, I mean, probably maybe a fresh format would help it, but I just thought I'd clone the hard drive over because I couldn't be fucked trying to go for the rigmarole of doing all the reinstalling and stuff, and I just cloned everything over. So it's just easier. Alright, anyway, well, thank you very much, YouTube. Stay tuned. I've got more videos coming up at some points. Ultimately, stay tuned for more videos. And, aside from staying tuned for more videos, what else did I want to say? Yeah, stay tuned, stay clear, and aside from staying clear and tuned, also, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, comment if you want to comment, and if you just want to make a comment about my video, or just make a suggestion even, that's cool. It's donation links are of course located there and everything else, so I'm always open to those. I'm always doing my tech stuff on my channel, so if you're interested in it, cool. Stay tuned. Anyway, thank you very much, and catch ya. Bye.